Hello, everybody, and I would like to thank my wonderful subscribers. Hello, everybody, and welcome to part 2 of 4 Very Scary True Night Shift Horror Stories. So yeah, last time we had a creepy Burger King customer, and then we had a creepy couple in the woods. I wonder what we will get with story number 3, sent in by Anonymous. I guess we will see right now. What do you have? Must be pretty bad to be anonymous.
This happened a few winters ago when I was working overnight security for a commercial warehouse complex.
Ooh, a warehouse.
I was 26 and had been doing the job for 8 months.
I always wanted to check out a warehouse, like an abandoned warehouse. I always thought that would be really cool.
The shift ran from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., and I was always the only employee on the site.
Wow.
There was a supervisor I could call if something went wrong.
That must
but
be
for
nice
the most part,
to
it
be
was
alone.
just me and the cameras. The complex was in an industrial area on the edge of a small city that didn't have much nightlife.
Cool.
Most nights followed the same routine. Clock in, do a walkthrough of the exterior, then settle into the security office to monitor the cameras. And every hour, another patrol. The warehouse stored mostly industrial equipment and bulk supplies. Nothing particularly valuable. The night everything went sideways started pretty normally. It was cold enough for there to be snow falling, but nothing too heavy. I did my first patrol, everything was secure, and I went back to the office. Around 1:30 a.m., I got a motion alert on one of the loading dock cameras.
Ooh, check
this
it out.
wasn't unusual. The system was sensitive, and wind or animals could trigger it.
Wind?
I pulled out the feed and watched for a minute,
but
everything looked normal. Just the empty dock and snow drifting past the floodlights.
How good are the
cameras? The alerts kept coming. Every 10 or 15 minutes, the same camera would trigger. Each time I'd check the feed, each time I'd see nothing.
Ooh.
What started to bother me was that the movement always seemed to happen just at the edge of the frame, like something was there, but not
you can see it. Kinda.
By 2:30, I had maybe 6 or 7 alerts from the same camera.
Okay, at that point you have to check it out.
Just that one. At 3 a.m., I went outside to check it myself.
Good.
The snow had mostly stopped, and the complex was dead silent. I walked the full perimeter of the dock area with my flashlight. I didn't see anything unusual. All the bay doors were closed and locked, and there were no footprints in the snow except for mine.
Yeah.
I went back inside.
I mean, it was snowing.
20 minutes later, I heard a loud, metallic scraping sound, like something heavy being dragged across concrete.
Ooh.
It came from inside the warehouse.
Check it out.
Deep in the building. I checked the interior cameras, but all 6 feeds showed empty aisles. I was starting to freak out a little bit because I started feeling like I was being toyed with.
Maybe you are.
Watched somehow. But still, I explained the noise away by chalking it up to the wind or something.
Really? The wind made that
though,
noise.
I heard it again.
A scraping noise.
The dragging sound, followed by a sharp bang, like something had struck one of the interior doors. I cycled through the cameras
Isn't your job to check shit out?
1 through 5. When I got to camera 6, though, the feed was black. Maybe 3 seconds of static, and then it came back. But something was different.
What?
The angle had shifted.
How?
Just a few degrees to the left, like someone had bumped the camera or adjusted its position.
Is it high up?
At that point, I had no choice.
Yeah.
I grabbed my flashlight and radio and headed into the warehouse. The interior was massive, probably 80,000 square feet of industrial shelving arranged in long aisles. During the day, it was bright and full of forklifts.
The classic warehouse.
Night, the overhead lights were dimmed to save power, casting everything in this yellowish half light.
Ooh.
I was maybe halfway down the main aisle when I heard footsteps coming from somewhere to my left.
Turn.
It definitely sounded like someone. A person walking maybe 2 or 3 aisles over.
Turn.
As soon as I stopped, the footsteps stopped too. I stood there trying to control my breathing.
What are you doing? You have to control the
situation. Standing there in
situation.
complete silence, waiting for a sound that I wasn't even sure would come.
Listen. You're the only person here. You have to be the man of the warehouse. You have to say, "Who's there?" and "Get out," or "You can't be in here." I don't know why they don't give you a weapon. I don't know what you're even supposed to do. I feel like you're pretty much just a figurehead. Like, you don't even have a weapon. This guy could kill your ass.
After what felt like forever, I couldn't take it anymore.
What?
I had to break the silence.
Yo.
In a firm voice,
Good.
I announced my presence as security and insisted that whoever was there make things easy and reveal themselves.
Good.
But of course, there was no response.
Okay.
The rest of that patrol was utterly terrifying.
Shit.
I was bracing myself for a fight or some kind of confrontation.
Yeah.
And the longer I surveyed without finding anyone, the worse that feeling got.
Oh, I can
But
imagine.
I ultimately finished my patrol without seeing another person, which was arguably worse because I knew with 100% certainty that there was someone in there.
Yeah.
I didn't see or hear anything for the rest of my shift, but that didn't make me feel any better. I actually felt somewhat guilty.
Yeah.
My job was laughably simple,
And you did
I was messing it up in real time. But by the time 7 rolled around, I wanted nothing more than to just get out of there.
Yeah.
I reported everything to my supervisor when he showed up on site. Maintenance did a full inspection, but didn't find anything either.
Wow.
Even after everything was double and triple checked, no one was able to identify the method of entry.
Okay. Well, yeah, as long as they didn't take anything, I think they didn't really do anything.
I could tell people didn't believe my story.
Aww.
Still, though, that night remains one of the freakiest things that has ever happened to me.
That's it. Oh, I thought we did a bit more. But okay. So, that could be anybody. That could be a homeless person. That could be a teenager who wants to have a little fun in his life. That could be an actually dangerous person. Or a thief. Endless possibilities. And all that. But okay. Story number 4 is by Barrett M. Barrett M.
This memory still terrifies me.
Ooh.
And outside of police and some close family, this is my first time fully revisiting it.
Okay, so you told the police.
A few years ago, I had gotten my first job at a 24-hour gym.
Okay.
At the time, I was in a gap year between high school and college, so I worked a lot of night shifts. The gym was open 24/7 and accessed by key card only, meaning often there were only one...
I wonder if that's an easy job. Yeah, I wonder if I could do that job. Like, what, I have to just sit there and, like, let people come in and out? That sounds so easy. The only hard part would be, like, the machines. Do I have to know how to operate them? Do I have to be able to lift heavy weights? I don't know. Maybe she'll tell us.
Or 2 employees working.
Okay.
People could just check in, use the equipment, and leave.
Yeah.
The whole facility pretty much managed itself.
I can imagine.
All entries, exits, and usage of equipment was processed digitally. So all I had to really do was sit in the office and keep an eye on the cameras.
Oh, your job is so
easy. I would occasionally get up and walk around, do some light cleaning, and even talk to some of the guests.
That's
nice. This was in a pretty bad part of town. But for the most part, everyone was nice and friendly. And it was one of those gyms where everyone kind of knows each other, considering how few people really come in.
Okay.
This one night in particular, I was working from 8 p.m. until 6 a.m., which is generally a very long, boring shift. But everything that happened that night keeps me up at night to this day.
What happened?
It was around 2 a.m. when I had already done multiple rounds around the building and finished all routine paperwork.
Paperwork?
I was exhausted,
is that hard?
so I just figured I'd sit down for a bit and monitor the cameras. Everything was normal at first. Not many people come in to work out in the middle of the night.
I can
imagine. There were a couple regulars who came
and
went. I had worked here for a few months now, so almost everyone I recognized, except one man.
A new man?
I first noticed him when I saw him using a treadmill in the far corner. Normally this wouldn't catch my attention, as we have new guests from time to time. However, what really caught me off guard was how fast this man was running.
What do you mean?
I pulled up his treadmill number in the system, where I'm able to live monitor all equipment activity.
Okay, that's pretty cool. I didn't even know you could do that. Kinda random, but kinda cool.
He was running 9 miles per hour, which was impressive already.
Yeah?
But what really shocked me was the fact that he never stopped.
Really?
10 minutes went by, then 15.
And it stayed at that number?
I looked closer at the camera, and although I can't quite describe it in detail, this man was nothing short of unsettling.
How?
He was wearing ragged clothes. He had long, messy hair,
He's in a
and his face
gym.
never moved once. He was just staring straight forward. Then I noticed his feet.
He was
barefoot.
barefoot.
He had been running 9 miles per hour for 15 minutes barefoot, just staring into the distance.
That ain't weird.
At this point in time, I was very weirded out, especially since he was now the only person in the building besides
He might be
myself.
on drugs.
I pulled myself together and realized that we do have a policy requiring shoes,
Oh,
so I decided
okay.
I would use that as an excuse to go talk to him. Although his appearance really freaked me out,
You wanted
I got
to
up
know
the courage
him.
to leave the office and head out to talk to him.
Okay.
The machine he was on was located almost directly outside the employee hallway, and as soon as I
That's
turned that corner,
easy.
my heart stopped.
What?
The treadmill was covered in blood.
What the
His
fuck?
feet were tearing apart as he ran.
What the fuck?
My heart dropped.
Okay.
Blood not only dripping, but splattering from his feet
Okay,
and ankles
well,
for
get
every
him
step
off.
he took. His face was still stone cold, staring straight ahead.
Get him
His mouth
off.
was wide open as he ran. He looked like he was on every drug on the planet.
He probably
At this
is.
point, I was terrified. He
Call
looked
the-
crazy enough to the point that my gut was telling me he was dangerous.
Okay.
However, I still mustered
Well, currently, he's being a danger to himself, and he should have to leave.
up the courage to yell at him to stop. I can't even remember exactly what I said, but I did have to raise my
Hey,
voice a
shut
bit so
up.
he would hear me over the thudding of his feet as he sprinted.
Is that what you
He
said?
didn't say a word, or even turn his head for
Oh,
that matter.
God.
He just continued to sprint and stare forward with his mouth open. I yelled again, something along the lines of, "Hello, what are you doing?" He
You're
then muttered the
bleeding.
words, "Are you there?" in the
Yes.
coldest, raspiest voice I've ever heard. He wasn't out of breath or even panting as he spoke.
Yeah?
I told him to stop a few more times, and he repeatedly just said, "Are you there?"
Can you turn it
The pool
off?
of blood at the end of the conveyor was growing, and at this point, I just figured I'd call the
Yes.
cops. I went back to the office, picked up my phone, but before I called, I glanced at the monitors again.
What?
He was staring directly at the camera, sprinting,
Oh, no.
bleeding, mouth open, staring at the camera.
Oh, no.
I turned away and then heard him screaming from outside the door.
What the fuck?
He wasn't even screaming words.
Yo, just
He
like
was screaming
noise?
at the top of his lungs as he stared at me through the
Oh,
camera.
God.
Suddenly, he hopped off the
What?
treadmill. He didn't even turn it off, and he sprinted out of view of the camera.
Where are you going?
I immediately started clicking through the feed searching for him, but he was out of view of every camera we had in the building.
Oh, God.
I had checked every camera except one,
What?
the employee hallway.
He's there?
Sure enough, there he was, about 6 feet
Oh,
from the office door, just
God.
standing there. I don't even know how he had gotten into this hallway without a key card, but I didn't hesitate to
Did
quickly
you,
lock the door.
did you forget to lock it?
Almost 5 seconds after I locked it, the doorknob rattled. Now I was calling the cops.
Yes.
He
Good.
started screaming again and shaking the door as I explained to dispatch what was happening.
Yeah.
They told me police were 5 minutes out.
Okay.
So I just waited in the corner of the office while this man was trying to get inside.
That's so
His
easy.
scream was terrifying. It was so deep it barely sounded human. And he kept it up for an unbelievably long time.
I mean, he obviously had good endurance. He managed to run 9 miles on a treadmill for over 10 minutes.
It
So,
went on for
and he's bleeding. So, yeah. No, this guy, whatever he's on, whoever he is, unhuman. In a creepy good way.
about 3 minutes. I thought if he got in here, I was gonna die. And I
Maybe,
felt
yeah.
absolutely helpless.
5 minutes.
Suddenly, though, the screaming stopped and the door didn't move. I
Oh,
checked the cameras again, and he was gone.
okay.
I couldn't see him anywhere.
The blood?
Eventually, the police arrived, and I made them search the entire place before I would even leave the office. They told me he was nowhere to be found.
What about the blood?
I answered their questions and drove home. I quit the next day and have not entered that gym since. I have no idea what that man wanted, or what kind of crazy he was. I still wonder what would have happened if I didn't lock that door.
I mean, he seems psychotic. Probably some sort of like. He said, "Are you there?" He obviously had some sort of like, delusion or like, what do you call it? What do you call it when you see things that aren't there? Hallucinations, maybe? Something along those lines. Also, something that messes with his like ability to run. Honestly, I'm not sure how they didn't catch him. Right? The blood was still there, right? Couldn't they just take a blood sample from the place and use it to identify him? I'm gonna be honest, this story sounds kinda unreal. Not because of all the crazy running, but because you didn't really give a lot of detail about the police. Only the fun, scary part. So what happened after the police came? Did they examine the blood? How did they react to the blood? Not a lot of detail at the end. But maybe you're the kind of guy who doesn't like to remember shit. But okay, everybody. I have to say, that will have to do it for this Mr. Nightmare reaction. And I hope to see you guys next time. Bye!